Hey, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're going to be playing Roll Player, and specifically Roll Player Solo with the Monsters and Minions expansion. I've been covering a lot of games in this sort of setting recently, both Roll Player Adventures and Lockup, but now I'm getting to the game that started it all from Thunderworks. Let's see how it plays. Like always, I'm going to quickly talk through setup and the basics of play. Feel free to use the timestamps to skip that. And if you like our content, please consider supporting us through Patreon for some great perks. Listen to our podcast on Sundays, join the conversation on our Slack or Discord channels, and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified about all our upcoming videos. So Roll Player is a victory point accumulation dice placement game with a theme of building an RPG character, which has kind of come to life now that Roll Player Adventures allows you to take the character you build here and export it over there. First, you have to get your dice bag ready, which is just full of dice. But when you're playing with the Monsters and Minions expansion, you also have 11 of these new boost dice, plus 1 die of each of the other 7 colors. Gotta pick a character sheet. I'm going with the Minotaur, so I have +1 strength, +1 constitution, -2 intelligence. Not that smart. I get 5 gold coins to start. And next, I draw a die color, then put it back in the bag. That's going to determine my class color. And if I get a gold die or a boost die, I draw again until I get one of the basic colors. And based on which die you roll, you get 1 class card to choose from, or at least you only got 1 in the base game. But with the Monsters and Minions expansion, you have 2 to choose from. And they each are double-sided, so really 4 classes total. Let's look at our options. As a cleric, once per round, I may pay 2 gold to take a wisdom attribute action. That moves your alignment around. We'll get to that in a second. As the paladin, if I keep my alignment marker on the highest victory point space at the start of each round, I gain 1 gold. That's pretty cool. The priest, after buying a skill card, I may take a dexterity attribute action that lets me switch dice. And a crusader, after gaining an honor token, gain an additional honor token. That's based on the combat that's new with the expansion. So let's go for that since it is kind of expansion focused. And this is also going to tell me what my attribute goals are to earn a certain amount of victory points. So I want really high strength, really high dexterity, really high constitution, and the other 3 stats are kind of my dump stats, which makes sense with my Minotaur being good at both con and strength and not good at intelligence. Next, I'm going to take a random alignment card, see what kind of Minotaur Crusader I am. And I am a Vigilante. I want to, ideally, to get the most victory points, be evil but neutral, or lawful neutral or chaotic neutral. So basically I want to be kind of in the center. But I can also get smaller numbers of victory points for being lawful neutral or chaotic neutral. I also draw a random backstory card. Devoted seems appropriate for a crusader. Your only son has been stricken with a grave illness. You have set out with the intent of doing everything in your power to save the life of your boy. Hey, I can relate to this. Let's do it. And this is going to tell me specific colored dice I'd like to place on my board in specific spots to earn some more victory points. I'm going to take the 2 cubes in my class color and put 1 on this middle starting space of my alignment. The other one you don't really need in solo. It's more to mark your action as you take it in the multiplayer game. Next, I'm going to create the market deck. And market cards will either have 1 dot or 2 dots in the upper right corner. You divide these into 2 decks. You are going to take out these 3 cards, Diplomacy, Energy Field, and Spellbook. They don't apply in solo. Then you're going to shuffle the piles separately, take out 16 cards at random from each pile. Those combined will start your discard pile. And then you'll place your 1 diamond cards on top of your 2 diamond cards, and you've got your market deck built. Then you're going to draw the market offer. In the core game, you only had 3 cards in solo, but now you're going to have 4. And wow, we got 3 weapons in our initial draw and 1 skill. You also put out the first 3 initiative cards and put a gold coin on number 2, as indicated. And I forgot to mention, you take the top card of the market deck and you put it into a trash pile. Here we got some chain leggings, which is separate from the discard pile. You can sometimes access the discard. The trash is lost forever. We're also going to pull out 2 gold dice from the bag, which will basically be kind of our competition in a way, taking away cards we might want. Then we're going to draw 6 more dice at random. White dice we like, because that's in our class. Gold dice get us extra money. We're going to roll all of these. We're going to place them on our board. Those would be our initial dice. All right, so we got some 6s right off the bat, and 1s aren't necessarily terrible because the strength attribute action, as you'll see in a moment, lets you flip dice. Now, intelligence wants a white die in the front, and that makes sense because I want that to be a lower stat anyway, probably. But the only dice in the second column are blue or black, so unless I want to place 3 dice at once, I'm not going to get any other things here. Wait, I don't like intelligence's power much anyway, so what the hey. Let's just dump some weaker dice in here. And every time we place the 3rd die in a attribute row, we get a gold, so there's 1. I think these other three, I'm just going to put one in each spot. I guess Constitution is a little bit lower for us, so that should be good. And whenever you place a gold die, you get 2 gold, so I've got 8 gold to start overall. Now, I'd be good to go if this were the basic game, but because I'm playing with monsters and minions, I have to set up my monsters. So first, like with the market deck, you're going to have minion cards with 1 or 2 diamonds. You're going to shuffle them separately, place the 1s on top of the 2s, and then take out 7 random 1-cost minions, and they get out of the game. I'm always going to have the topmost minion revealed. In this case, it's a satyr. And then I'm going to take the 6 boss monster cards. They're oversized. And I want to make sure I have the ones that have a 1P in the bottom right. I'm going to take out the one that corresponds to my class colors, so we won't be fighting a vampire. I'll randomly get, a demon. He's got his power. After final dice, flip all 5s to their opposite sides. He's got how many victory points I earn, and if I do not do at least 18 damage, we'll get to that later, then I die. And final thing we need to do, I've got 3 attack, 3 location, and 3 obstacle cards for this demon. I'm going to randomly draw 1 of each type. And that's it, we're good to go. So the basics of Role Player are pretty simple. You're trying to get to the highest number of victory points you can, and you'll be doing that by placing 1 die each turn until your entire player board is full. And as we already mentioned, you'll get victory points for your alignment, for your attributes based on your class, for specific colors you place on your board, for many of the items you can buy in the market, which will also give you abilities sometimes. And new with the expansion, you'll also get victory points based on how well you do against the final boss, and in solo mode, if you don't get at least their minimum life value, then you lose. At the start of a given turn, 3 dice are drawn at random from the dice bag. They're rolled, and they're placed in the 3 initiative spots. Now you have to put the highest die on the 3, the lowest die on the 1, but if, as here, you have a tie, you get to pick which one goes where. You'll then choose 1 die to grab. If you get the number 2 one, you get a free gold for it. And based on which die you grab, you're going to roll 0 to 2 of these AI gold dice. If you pick the 1, you don't roll any. If you pick the 2, you roll 1 die. If you pick the 3, you roll both. If the dice roll the same value, keep on rolling one of them until you get a different value. And if they get a 1, 2, 3, or 4, you take the matching market card and trash it. It won't be available to you this round. If you roll a 5 or 6, you take the current topmost minion, and you cycle them to the bottom of the deck and reveal the newest card. If you roll both a 5 and a 6, you're going to do that twice. Then whichever die you've chosen, you'll put on your board, and again, you're looking at the values you're adding up to and seeing if it compares to your class. And the values you need are going to differ. So for strength, I have to have exactly 18. For constitution, it can be 15 or 16. For intelligence, it could be anything 14 or higher, so it's much more flexible. And whichever attribute you put it in, you're going to get some kind of bonus immediately. For strength, you can pick any die on the board, including the one you just placed, and flip it to its opposite value. For dexterity, you can switch 2 dice on your board and change up where they are. For Constitution, you can take 1 die and either increase or decrease its value by 1, although you can't wrap around from 1 to 6 or vice versa. Intelligence lets you re-roll 1 die on your board. Wisdom moves your alignment marker 1 space, which again can get you some victory points. And Charisma gives you this little Charisma token, but only until the end of the turn, but if you buy something this turn, you'll pay 1 less money. After you've placed your die and taken your attribute action, you get to go to the market, and you have 3 options when you're here. Your first option is to discard one of the cards and gain 2 gold. Your second option is to buy one of the cards, paying the cost in the upper right. And to go through the types briefly, there's no limit on how much armor you can get, and it gives you victory points, more if you get more in the same sets. It is the chain set. You've got scrolls, which give you an immediate benefit of some kind, and then you just hang on to them. Trait, which will move your alignment cube 1 space if possible, so you can still buy this even if you're on the bottom, but if not, it would move you down 1. And they'll often give you victory points or some other immediate ability. Skills give you powers you can use over and over again, but each time you have to move your alignment marker in the indicated direction, and if you can't, then you can't use it. So for example, if I use Negotiate once, it would move there, and then I could not use it again until I got the token to the left somehow. These exhaust after you use them on a turn, and you can only unexhaust 1 a turn. So if you get like 5 of these, you're not going to get too much use out of them. And finally, there are weapons that'll generally have their own ongoing power, and they'll each show a number of hands. You can only hold up to 2 hands worth of weapons. If you get more than that, you have to discard some of your choice. But if you don't want to discard a card for 2 gold or buy one, then you can go fight the topmost minion. And if you don't like the topmost minion, you can spend 3 gold to move it to the bottom and reveal the next minion, and you can do that as many times as you can afford. And when you fight a minion, you're always going to start with 1 combat die, but they'll give you some way to earn more. For example, this guy likes it when you have a lot of charisma dice already. You'll roll all the dice, and based on the total sum of your dice, you'll get some victory points. The blue cubes here are experience, and you can spend these later, 1 experience per die to re-roll dice, and you can spend them for other effects as well. They'll also give you gold sometimes. They also might hurt you if you don't roll well, or they might give you these honor tokens that help you fight the final boss. And speaking of the final boss, the big thing is that if you get a result that has this little trophy icon, you get to first of all keep the card, which might interact with other effects. But second, the minion gives you some information about the main monster. The first time you defeat a minion and get a trophy, you'll get to look at the location. Second time the obstacle, third time the attack. And these will generally tell you what you need to have or not have to earn either experience or extra combat dice fighting the boss. And for solo play, they'll clarify even more. So like here, I would need to have at least 2 skill cards to get 2 free experience. Then to finish out the round, you discard the leftmost card remaining in the market, and any other cards left go to the trash where you can never access them again. You deal 4 new market cards. You also return any remaining dice to the bag, and you replace the 1 gold here if you took it. You never get more than 1 gold there, but you do leave the 2 gold dice for the enemy always available. And once you've gone through all 12 turns of the game, all your stuff is filled in, then you automatically go on a hunt for the big monster. You're once again going to get 1 combat die. You can spend 3 experience or 5 gold to hire mercenaries to get extra dice. You're going to reveal any of these you didn't see and see what bonuses you get. And then you'll fight them, and based on what your total is, you'll get some victory point total, but again, in solo, if you don't get at least 18 in this case, you lose. So that's about it. Let's get to the game and see how we do. Alright, we got a white 5, purple 3, green 2, and none of them match colors I currently could build into. Now, white dice are always worth 1 victory point each because that's my class, so that already seems like kind of the obvious one to take. But I'm going to have more annoyance from the enemy because of it, but I think I can deal with that. So let me just go ahead and get this. And let's see. I could go on strength, but I like to save that when possible to flip things later. Dexterity, same deal. Constitution, I'm not as worried about, so let's do that. I want a 15 to 16 Constitution. I get a +1 bonus to that. So if I get another 4 or 5, I'll be fine already. So here I can increase or decrease 1 die. I think my best chance with intelligence might be to flip some of these in case I might want to get to it. I probably don't, but for now, let's increase that. Oh no, that seems silly. Let's increase Constitution and make it even easier to get that finished up. But because I picked that die, we're going to see what happens. Okay, so we're recycling the enemy twice. Didn't lose any of our market cards. So we've got a giant rat, +1 die for each blue die on our sheet, which is currently none. And to get a trophy from him, we would need to get a 10+. So that did not work out in our favor. Now we go to the market phase. Let's look at our options. Definitely don't want to fight the rat. The quarterstaff gives me +2 gold whenever I complete an attribute row, which means it's going to happen 5 times in the game. That would be potentially 10 gold over the 4 costs. But it does use up both of my hands, so I couldn't fit any other weapons unless it was at the end and I replaced something. The sling is kind of similar, but it's going to give me experience, which might help me fight better. It's only 1 hand and it's 1 less gold. The sleight of hand is a skill that lets me move my dice around on my character sheet, but I don't need that yet. So yeah, I think I'll go for the sling for 3. Now the quarterstaff is discarded and everything else remaining is trashed. I'm going to get 4 new cards. Let's see, victory points for traits. I can hold dice on the backpack and then place them later. Definitely think I want. That's extra victory points for white classes like I am. And then cunning, bonus for every skill card. So these are very similar. Alright, so jumping right into round 2. Whoa! That's a little crazy, so I can put them in whatever order I want. The white die will be worth a victory point. The blue would help me fight the rats. The black die could go in my strength. I need a black die there, and I need a high value. See, I think I actually want that one. So the only question becomes, do I want it on the first spot, so I don't have to roll the gold dice at all, or the second spot for the gold? I think I want the gold. The only thing I'm worried about losing is the chain helm, but with a single gold die, that's a 1 in 6 chance. Probably not going to happen. And I'll put this in my strength slot, which matches my devoted, so that's getting me closer to a bunch of victory points. When I place a strength die, I can flip a die, so what the hey, I think intelligence probably won't come into play, but might as well try for it. We have to roll a single die. I hope they cycle that rat. Nope, they're going to trash confident. Then I'll clearly be buying the chain helm. It's worth 1 victory point. If I get more chain, it'll be worth even more, but it's worth +1 for the entire set if I'm a white class. Nice. And this gets discarded. This gets trashed. Oh, wow, we've got 3 traits this time and 1 skill. Although I'm down to only 3 money, so I don't know. I might do something else anyway. Alright, round 3. Okay, a bunch of 6s again. The boost die or the black die. I mean, the boost die has no extra benefits, whereas the black die might help me out, so I guess I'll do that. Now, the black die would actually be too much for strength, because I'd go with my +1 to 19. I'd have to lower it 1 with my constitution later. But I could put it in dexterity and have 12 out of 17. So sure, because I do want the more gold. Okay, I can switch 2 dice on my board. But I don't want to do that yet because everything's pretty much fine where it is. Okay, 1 gold die. Come on, 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Ah, no, they took away the skill. And yeah, looking through these 3, none of them are very good for me. This one wants me to have attribute scores of 5 or less. I'm not anywhere close to that. This one wants me to have a lot of 1s on my sheet. I don't have any of those yet. This one wants me to have the same color dice in 4 columns. With my dexterity already used up, I don't think that'll be easy to make happen. So I'm going to discard 1 of them and get 2 gold. Because again, I don't really want to fight that rat. And then the leftmost will get discarded. That's trashed. And let's see, we've got a skill that's taking my alignment in the wrong direction. Dedicated looks pretty good. Let's see, 1 weapon card I already have, 1 armor card I already have. So if I get 1 skill and 2 traits, and this is 1 of them, that's 2 victory points. So yeah, I think that can happen. All right, come on, I want to fight. There's a blue die. Okay, and then I can reorder these. I definitely don't need any more black dice. So none of those are the colors I want to finish any of these. So I think I will grab the blue die, give me a chance of fighting that rat. I don't think I'll fight him this round, so let's put it in Charisma, which will, remember, give me a 1 gold discount on what I buy this round. So I'll spend 3 to get Dedicated instead of 4, and it immediately moves my alignment to the left. Not really the direction I want to go. Although, honestly, 1 victory point is okay. I don't know if I want to put that much effort into getting it 2 more, but I do have all my wisdom to make it happen, so it's alright. And Jewel Dagger discarded. Both of these trash. Remember, I didn't roll the gold dice at all because I picked the lowest die. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky and get another blue die this round so we can fight that rat. Let's see, Ambitious rewards us for having traits at 18 or higher. We're only going to have 1 of those. Leather gloves are okay, but I'd rather focus on chain. Haggle is actually pretty nice. It lets you draw extra cards from the market, but they cost +2 cost, and I just don't think I have enough money right now. And Stone Skin gets me money, but it's only double my current alignment space, which means if I bought it right now, I'd only get 2 money for the +1. So yeah, this is perfect. Hopefully I'll get another blue die to choose, and I can go after that giant rat. Ah, no such luck! But I could get 2 gold from placing that. Ooh, the red would finish my constitution out. How much did I want? That's, with a 4, it'd be 10, 15, +1, 16. Oh yeah, so I wouldn't even have to change its value. And I get a gold for doing it, so yes, I think we're going to do that. So I get 1 gold for finishing a row. I get 1 experience because of my sling. And then because I place in Constitution, I can increase or decrease a die by 1. What the heck, we'll keep on pretending that intelligence might happen. Actually, no, I still like intelligence kind of being a dump stat, so let's increase charisma instead. All right, that means the AI is going to roll 1. Oh, yes! I didn't really want the Rex. I still can fight him. Let's see if we have somebody better. Owlbear, +1 for each purple die. I've got 1 of them. I need an 8+. That'd be a bit of a risk, but I do have 1 experience I can spend to re-roll 1 of my 2 combat dice, because I only have 1 purple to get the bonus. And yeah, I really don't want any of this, so I guess I'll go for it. So I'm going to fight the owlbear. I get 1 combat die automatically, 1 because I have 1 purple on my sheet. This experience will let me re-roll 1. I could spend 5 gold to hire a mercenary to get a 3rd die, but that seems a little crazy. Please, please, please. Oh, wow. No reroll needed. Awesome. So I'm getting 1 experience, 1 honor token, and because I am so brave, I get an additional 1. Honor tokens are just straight up +1s to your final total against the boss. This guy goes into my trophy set, and I get to look at the boss's location. Let's see. The player with the most black dice gains 1 combat die. For me, I need to have at least 3. And hey, that is good to know, because I've got 2. Get 1 more, and I gain a bonus die. And we do get to see my next potential foe. Kobold, +1 die for each die in your Dex attribute row. So I've already got 2 of those. I could even finish it next turn potentially, so that's great. But we're not there yet. This gets discarded. All the rest of these are trashed. I know, man, this is one of my favorites, but it's so expensive. +1 combat die to every combat roll against a minion or the monster. But it costs 5, which is all I have. And don't forget, for Dedicated, at some point I need to get another trait and a skill. We've got some cheap ones here. Intimidate for 1 gold. Before or after selecting an initiative card, reroll any number of dice in the dice pool and reorder them. Nice. And Disguise. Before the dice phase, exchange 1 of your trait cards with 1 trait card in the market. Well, that's kind of counterintuitive, but I might buy Intimidate. It's so cheap and it'll fulfill the skill need I have. First, let's see how the dice come out. Okay. Bunch of blue and a boost. Nothing I really want there. Now let's see. I need a 5 to finish off Dex. I'm thinking if I get a 2, I can flip it to a 5 later with my last strength. And I need a green in the third column for dexterity, but I could switch the blue at its place and the green already there. That would give me the gold, so sure, let's try it. So I finished off a row, 1 gold, 1 experience for my sling. And I will use dexterity's power to do that, and I just got to remember to flip that later. 1 gold being rolled. Oh no, the kobold is gone right before we could have fought him. Ugh, instead we got +1 combat die for each die in your wisdom attribute row. We don't have any there yet. Alright, I see how you're coming for me. So, you know what? What the heck? I'm going to get the flail anyway. It's just too good. So that leaves me with 2 gold, and we'll see how things go next round. And we got some new skills. This one would move me left, which I can't move right now. Yeah, it's also left. Darn it. I don't really want either of these. Maybe I can fight? I guess we can hope the elemental goes away. Oh, there's a black die I could use, a blue, and a red. Somehow this part of the turn got cut off, but I selected the black 6 and put it on my wisdom track, moving my alignment back to the center. So I think now, between my experience, my unholy flail, and my 1 wisdom, I have a pretty good shot against the elementals, so watch, they'll probably get rid of it for me. Nope. I'm gonna trash search. Yeah, I definitely do want to fight this. We got 3 combat dice and 3 experience, so my chances of getting a 12 plus are pretty good. I want that for both the trophy and for the honor. It's going to activate my class ability again. Here we go. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'll definitely reroll at least one of them to get out of the place where I take damage and get to where I'm gaining experience. Okay, that's a 4. So I have 2 experience left. It's a gamble, but what the heck, let's go for it. Spending 1 more experience, I can stop if it becomes hopeless after this. 7. So I need this to be a 5 or 6. Yeah, darn it. I think I'm going to stop there and just get 2 experience. That was not good enough. So I just gained back what I lost. I wish I had just discarded a card or bought something. But hey, new enemy is an ooze. I get +1 for every green. I should be able to destroy this guy. So now I'm kind of hoping that the next items that come up aren't worthwhile. So we got a longbow. I can't fit it. Ooh, gain 3 gold for each weapon card you have? But it's just a scroll. It won't help me in any other way, but that's still pretty nice. Okay, there's a skill to take any attribute action. It's still to the left, but I could do it. And Compassionate. 2 victory points for your character sheet has dice of all 7 possible colors, although it's in the exact opposite direction I want. But I definitely have all 7 colors, so that's a free 2 victory points. Well, not free, it costs 4. I've only got 3 money. But it would also get me my second trait, so maybe I'll go for that instead of the ooze. Let's see how it comes out. No, we do have a white die. I always like those. None of them are the right value to finish off my strength. So yeah, let's get white, and I guess go in wisdom. So that'll give me 1 money. Can move my alignment 1. So yeah, I guess for now I'll go to the +3 space. Let's see what the 1 die does to me. Bye-bye ooze. So now it's a gargoyle. +1 die for every 2 dice in your color on your character sheet. I've got 3 of them, so these not too bad either. But I do think I probably need to take a break from fighting monsters and get Compassionate. It's going to move my alignment back up 1 space, but 2 victory points and getting closer to finishing off Dedicated. That's pretty good. But I am broke, so yay, let's see how that goes. We're down to our last 4 turns. I can't really afford anything at the moment. Yeah, no matter what, I probably won't get enough money for this. Although, oh, darn it. Steadfast is 2 victory points for every weapon card I have? That would have been amazing. All right, so I'd love to roll a 5 for Strength, or get a white die, a blue or a purple for Wisdom or Charisma. Oh, okay, I got the 5 or the white. But I guess I'll take the 5 and get Strength locked in. So it gets me a golden experience for finishing off the row. I get to flip a die. I guess I'll get Wisdom a little bit closer to being 14 or more. And I forgot I also got a gold from picking Initiative, but I still only have 2, not enough to buy anything. I think I should fight the Gargoyle and then hopefully get some gold to buy a skill later. I've got 1 die, +1 for my Unholy Flail, +1 for my only pair of combat dice in my color. I need a 10 plus. Oh man, not there yet. That is 9. Let's spend 1 of my 4 experience. And that's still not it. Let's spend another experience. You can reroll the same die. There we go, 11. So I'm getting 3 experience back, but 2 honor with my class ability, and I get to look at the next monster card. Let's see, the player with the most weapon cards has to fight a skeleton horde and gains 2 combat dice, and he'd have at least 1. Well, I'm already good for this one. I didn't even need to investigate it, I guess. And that becomes kind of the negative here. If I find out that the attack is like something I totally can't do, I won't have enough turns to actually fix it. New monster turned up, Basilisk. +1 combat die for each completed attribute row. Wow, that would be +4. It would be pretty easy to beat this guy, but he only gives me experience, so I'm not in a rush. Let's see what the market has. I really need to get that one skill. But no skills came up. Got leather armor, a shield I can't afford. Nimble's worth 3 victory points, but sends my alignment the wrong way. And Dispel gives me gold for each skill I have. I don't have any skills. So with 3 turns left, I probably need to either kill the Basilisk to find out the last card, or discard one of those cards to get some more money. And I'm still looking for a blue or purple for my Devoted. Neither of them came out. But there is a yellow. That'd be 2 gold instead of the 1 I would get there. So, I mean, sure, I guess. I'll put it in Charisma. That'll get me the Charisma bonus. That'll be 3 money, basically. Wait, no, I don't want Charisma this turn because it'll go away at the end of the round if I just fight the Basilisk. So let's go to Wisdom. Get me 3 money with the bonus and another experience. And I'll move this down to my good spot again. A pretty good chance this monster is switching up. Oh, no. We have to reroll. Hold on. Yep, so the Leather Pauldron and Dispel are both trashed. So with that, I'm definitely going to fight this guy. And I now have 5 attribute rows completed, plus my flail, plus my basic 1 die. So 7, need to get an 18 or more. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much impossible not to, right? 14, 17, 20, 24. So I'm just getting 3 experience, but I do get to see the boss's final card. Oh, no. Player with the most scrolls gains 3 combat dice. I don't have any scrolls. So unless I buy one the next 2 rounds and give up on getting that skill, this is not going to happen. Bummer. But I do have 2 turns left for the skill. Let's see if any come up. Okay, Halberd, no. Oh, Chain Tunic, I definitely want that. And a scroll, but no skills. Okay, I gotta get the Chain Tunic. That's definitely the best thing for me here. And I guess it doesn't matter anymore if I get a blue die here, because I already gave up on getting the purple die here, and you need all 6 to get 6 victory points. With 4 or 5, you only get 3. Which is a bummer, because I did get a blue die. Ooh, a 6 gold. Yes, for the money, definitely. Although then I gotta hope that the enemy does not grab my armor. So I got 2 gold and -1 cost this round. You know, I didn't look at the new enemy. Yeah, +1 combat die for each scroll you have. They just love scrolls, and I don't have them. All right, come on, don't roll a 2, don't roll a 2. No! Darn it. Well then, I guess I'm fighting the Phantom and hoping for a skill next turn. So I've got 2 dice with my flail, but I probably need 3 to beat this guy. I could spend 3 experience to get a 3rd die, and they give me 3 experience back, and then I'd still get the 2 honor with my class, so sure, let's try it. Oh, high numbers. 10, yeah, I need 2 of those, I would have beat him, so I guess I didn't need the experience spend. But I do get the 3 experience back, and I double my honor, and since there are no more monster cards to reveal, I get a bonus experience. And last minion I'm likely to see is a giant spider, but I don't want him, I want a skill. Last 4 market cards. Got a trait. It's worth 4 victory points. I might buy that. Thieves' Tool. No. Skill? Okay, good. Even if I don't use it. Oh, 2 skills. Awesome. So it should be pretty safe from them discarding one of them. By the way, I do lose my charisma token I didn't use because I fought. So I'm exactly where I want to be for my alignment right now, but I can buy these without using them, which I guess is what will probably happen. Alright, so I would love a white die. No such luck. Oh my gosh, and really low numbers. So yeah, what the hey, I'll just get the red die, getting 1 gold, and the charisma bonus. Hopefully the 1 die won't take away the open lock card, because that's the cheapest. It did not. With charisma, that'll only cost me 1, which is nice, because I have at least enough money to buy a higher 1 mercenary die. So with that, my character is complete. I'm a dedicated and compassionate crusader, with a bunch of weapons, a little bit of chain armor, and the skill to open locks. That's probably the weirdest one out of all of this. You're not super optimistic about my score, but let's see how we do against the demon. We got 1 combat die automatically, 1 for my flail. Oh, and I just realized I should have gotten 1 gold and 1 experience point when I finished my last thing. Because he's in another dimension and I have at least 3 black dice, I get a 3rd die. Because I have at least 1 weapon to deal with the horde, I get 2 more, that's up to 5. But I do not have at least 2 scrolls to disenchant the Scythe of Souls, so I won't get 3 more. So that's 5 dice. Not enough, let's buy some more. So I have 8 money, and for every 5 I can get 1 mercenary die, so that'll get me to 6. And then I've got a bunch of experience. That is 11. I could actually spend 5 of it to use one of the attribute skills, which if I did it twice for dexterity to switch dice, could theoretically get me my devoted for 3 more victory points. But I'm assuming the 10 experience will help me get more than that from the boss, maybe. So yeah, I think I'll do 1, 2... Should I have 5 rerolls or 1 more die? Yeah, let's stop there. So that's 2 more dice. Gets us to 8 total. Then we've got 5 rerolls with them. So we need a 34 or more for maximum point value. I've got 5 rerolls. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, nice. Okay, the 5's going to switch to a 2 if I leave it, so that's not great. But 2 6s off the bat is nice. A bunch of 1s. I don't love that. So let's spend our first 2 rerolls to reroll the 1s. Another 5 and a 2, which is both equivalent to 2. Darn it. I've got 3 rerolls left. Let's try for this 2. 3, that's better. Let's reroll one of the 5s. Another 5, and I guess I could go down to a 1, but I should hopefully improve. Yes, another 6. That's great. So let's see. It's 18. This becomes a 2. So 18, 20, 26, 30. 33. Literally 1 point away. Oh, wait. Silly me. I was getting these for a reason. Oh my gosh, I could have spent less. I have a +6 to my score. So I'm actually at 39, well above what I needed for 8 victory points. And let's see how I did otherwise. For Crusader, I've got 17 plus 1, exactly 18. So that's 4 more for 12. Oh no! I forgot to flip my dexterity. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a dumb move. And I flipped something else random, I think. So yeah. I just lost 3 victory points. Wow, that's bad. Darn, I could have spent 5 experience to boost that up. Oh well. So 12, Constitution I got, so that's 14. Intelligence, no, but both Wisdom, actually not Charisma, no, so just Wisdom. So that's 15, this is not going to be a great score. Okay, so to my 15, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the colors. So that's 3 more, 18. I am on my best alignment, so that's 21. Only got 1 set of chain armor, so that's 22, plus 1 because I'm a white class, so 23. And finally, I do fulfill both of my traits, so that's 25, 27. It's a pretty shameful score this time. I am a hireling, almost an adventurer. If I had gotten my dexterity, it would have been close to the next level up from there. Probably focused a bit too much on fighting the boss. I wish I could have gotten some more chainmail armor. That would have been great. But there you go. That was Roll Player with the Monsters and Minions expansion. And if you'd like to see my thoughts on Core Roll Player and also how the expansion improves it, click the link that just popped up. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.